Discussions between Iran and US delegations begin following separate bilateral meetings with Pakistani Prime Minister.
Russia and Ukraine exchanged prisoners Saturday, but also fired waves of drones at each other overnight, hours before a temporary ceasefire was set to take effect.
Negotiations are ongoing between the US and Iran on Saturday, with hopes of converting the two-week truce into lasting peace after progress was made in earlier indirect discussions. Three-party talks with the US, Iran and Pakistan began after a reduction in Israeli strikes on southern Lebanon and other preconditions being met, according to Iranian media. US Vice President J.D. Vance is leading the US delegation, while the Iranian delegation is led by Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf. Meanwhile, on Saturday, Trump said that the US had started clearing out mines from the strait as a favor to other countries of the world. The US said that 2 of its Navy vessels had passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Saturday, but Iranian state media earlier said that Iran forced a US military ship that was attempting to cross the strait to turn around.
Russia and Ukraine exchanged prisoners on Saturday, just hours before a temporary ceasefire was set to take effect for Orthodox Easter. The warring sides exchanged 175 prisoners of war each in a mediation carried out by the United Arab Emirates, according to officials. The exchange came just after both nations fired waves of drones at each other overnight. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, Russia launched at least 160 drones at Ukraine, killing 4 people in the country's east and south, with the Odessa region being among the hardest hit. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his country would respond, quote, in kind to any Russian violations of the ceasefire. Meanwhile, authorities in Russia's southern Krasnodar region claimed a wave of Ukrainian drones sparked a fire at an oil depot and damaged apartment buildings. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday declared a 32-hour ceasefire over the Orthodox Easter weekend from 4 p.m. Saturday until the end of Sunday. A similar ceasefire was ordered by Putin last year, but both sides reported multiple violations.
Ukraine says repairs to the Druzhba oil pipeline will be completed this spring, but the politics surrounding it are far from fixed. President Zelensky confirmed this week that work is underway on the pipeline, which Kiev says was struck by a Russian drone in late January. The pipeline carries Russian oil to Hungary and Slovakia through Ukrainian territory, and this disruption has caused a major rift between Kiev and Budapest. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has accused Kiev of deliberately keeping the pipeline shut for political reasons, blocking a €90 billion EU loan to Kiev in retaliation. But Zelensky has pushed back, saying he is effectively being forced to restore the flow of Russian oil and comparing it to lifting European sanctions on Moscow. The European Commission says Brussels and Kiev are broadly aligned on timing, but has stopped short of saying any more.
After blazing new records near the moon, Artemis 2's astronauts completed humanity's first lunar voyage in more than half a century with a Pacific splashdown in the early hours of Saturday. The triumphant moonfarers emerged from their bobbing capsule into the sunlight off the coast of San Diego, a dramatic grand finale to a mission that revealed not only swords of the lunar far side never seen before by human eyes. Military helicopters lifted the astronauts one by one from an inflatable raft attached to the capsule, transporting them on board for the brief journey to the Navy's waiting recovery ship. Artemis 2 didn't land on the moon or even orbit it, but it broke Apollo 13's distance record and marked the farthest that humans have ever journeyed from Earth when the crew reached nearly 407,000 kilometers. With their flight now complete, the 4 astronauts have set NASA up for a moon landing by another crew in just 2 years and a full-blown moon base within the decade.